inside of this thing. This is where the water builds up in the internal tank, and it fills up enough to where it will start dripping out and then drain into the bucket, which has been removed obviously. And apparently there is a switch inside here that when the water level gets high enough, it turns on the pump, which is right here. And you can see I have unhooked the hose from the pump, and right now there are 120 volts going to this little pump, but it's not pumping anything out. So I don't know why that is. There's another hose that goes on off the back of this that goes into this little tank right here. So let me see if I can. Okay, so the pump has actually turned off right now for whatever reason. If I have that, there's the meter. But just a minute ago, several times I've had it on, it'll show 120 volts going to that little pump, and that's what the sticker on the side says, 120 volts. So either it is clogged, or for whatever reason, it's not turning. That seems to be the issue right now. Turn the power off and pull this out. So this is the input hose to the pump, goes down to the little tank. You see there's a little bit of goop on that. It won't pull out. There's something on the end of it, maybe a filter or something, so I'm not going to pull it really hard. But you can see how this is just connected with a zip tie, just like the other end was. So this thing, I can just unhook this with the two electrical connectors right there and hopefully get a replacement. I got this tank out and I clipped off this little nub that this cord, electrical cable was wrapped around. That must be a design flaw. I don't know why in the world they had that cable wrapped around that thing. But here's the motor. Just in case I can get it working or whatever, I put black and white notation down there, the pump I mean. And so everything in here should be working because there's a little float in there. You can see it. I'll try and open it up in a minute. But apparently when that gets full, it turns a switch on that tells the system to put power on these two wires, which goes to the pump. There's three little clips that you undo here. You can see the float from inside, so there's little floats that when it fills up, it turns the pump on, and lo and behold, I think here's the problem. The filter is clogged. So this is all goopy down in there. So I've got this totally disconnected so I can take it to the sink and clean it. And when I was looking for the troubleshooting instructions online, they say you're supposed to drain this. Like I only run this dehumidifier during the summer, and you're supposed to drain it via that plug right there. I've never ever drained it. So that would explain the buildup of this gunk. Let's see if I can you can see down there how it's clean this really good. This looks brand new. So I'm going to just reassemble this, put the filter back on the end of the hose there, and start putting it back together. Might be instructive to pour some water in. I'm going to pour some water in there. You should see it come out of the little vent right about there, if you can see that. Okay, so that works. Okay, so I guess what my plan is going to be from here on out is maybe at the beginning of the year, just get a jar like this and put a couple tablespoons of bleach in it and pour it right into here, which is easy enough. You just take off the vents, and I think that will make this thing last quite a bit longer before it needs this treatment again. Probe this. Like I see, I got the probes on there. Okay, so there's 120 volts on that little on that little motor, and man, it's not good news. There is no water coming out of the pump. We got the little pump hooked up, and I'm gonna just put some power on it to see what it does. Notice I'm doing this from a distance, so I'm just going to plug this in. Pretty sure I got it wired up right. Does nothing. Alright, well that's what I expected it to do. Let's just check and make sure. Let me get the 120 volts, and nothing is happening. So for sure the motor is burned out. Well, it turns out this thing is pretty darn interesting. So we've got that module is the pump, and this thing apparently just goes back and forth with this spring to somehow create enough pressure to pump water out this side. I'm going to put the meter on this again to see if it has resistance, and I believe if you can see resistance across here, that the windings are still good. So maybe all hope is not lost. Let's check that out. Okay, got the meter connected up here, these alligator clips, and got it on ohms, 22,000 ohms, and what does that say? I see infinity or something. Let's change it. That means it's, I think that means it's open. So that means there's no path through that motor, or whatever it is, through the windings. So this is a mechanical engineer theory, but I believe that is correct. So let me see if I take this and touch it here. So actually now there obviously is a path. Now I see some values that are not infinity for the resistance, or zero resistance here, which that makes sense. Okay, well, it was interesting to see all that and see how it works, but unfortunately can't buy a replacement, can't fix this one, so we got to move to plan B. So this is plan B, so I'm going to run without the motor that went there. I'll just secure those wires and I will not turn the pump on, and I've got a hose connection here, and this is the key. So I have a condensate pump. So this hose goes down through one of the holes. You can see it's dripping like that. And as it fills up, this thing has a float switch. And if I pour some water in here, we should see water start flowing through there. This is emulating. There it goes. Yeah, so that works pretty well. So we have that tiny little micro pump, and we're replacing it with this. But this pump is $40 from Amazon, and it's a lot better than buying another $400 dehumidifier, because this one still works really well. As you can see, it's really clean. It's very cold. So I just will not turn on the pump anymore, and we'll just let it run.